guys, what's going on? Dr. Gonzo, Boogie here again, back for another video, and this is going to be my December update video, and it's been a long time since my last update video, so I have a ton of stuff to show you guys here. So this is going to be a long video, so get your popcorn out, get your can of drink out, and sit back for a little bit because I got a big update to show you guys. Actually, I have not put an update up since September. My last update video I think was like September 22nd. So I didn't do an update video at all during October, and I also never posted one up in November. I was just too busy and I was working on other videos. Actually in October I was working on a lot of horror collection videos because it was around Halloween time, so I was mostly focused on trying to show you guys some of the highlights from my horror movie collection, which I'm sure a lot of you guys checked out those videos. If you didn't, you can always go back on my channel and check those out now. But anyway, and then in November, I was working on the Rabbit Hole giveaway, which I know a lot of you guys also participated in and everything, but that was a lot of work. Not only did I have to make all those DVDs, but I had to make all the videos for them, so that took up a lot of my YouTube video making time doing the Rabbit Hole videos. And this month, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get an update up for you guys because it's just been busy, Christmas, work, all that, you know, all the regular December stuff. But I felt like I need to do one more update this year. So this is going to be my last update of 2016. But I'm sure I'll put a ton of other videos up too for the rest of this month. There's actually 3 or 4 videos that I plan on trying to get up by the end of this month too. And if I don't get them all up, then I'll save a few of them for next year, you know. But I have a ton of stuff to show you guys in this video. I really don't want to waste any more time because I have so much to show. I have a huge stack of Blu-rays here. Not only do I just have a little stack of regular Blu-rays, but I got a whole stack of Arrow video releases and a whole stack of Steelbook releases. And some of this stuff I bought in October, some of it I bought in November, and some of it I bought this month. But I also have a stack of DVDs and a VHS box set to show you guys. So this is going to be a complete update where I show you guys all the stuff that I've picked up over the past 2 months or more. And I have Blu-rays, DVDs, and VHSs. So let's get going here, and I'm going to start off with the Blu-rays, of course. And before I get to the Arrow stuff and the Steelbook releases, I'm just going to show you guys some of the regular Blu-rays that I picked up recently. So let's get going here and start off with this awesome release of Tenebrae. This was, of course, released by Synapse. Just a great looking release here. I actually have the Synapse 3-disc Steelbook Blu-ray release that they put out for Tenebrae, which is a great set, one of my favorite Steelbooks in my collection. But when I saw they were putting a separate Blu-ray release out for Tenebrae, I felt like I had to pick this up, and I'm really glad that I did. This is a great looking Blu-ray for a great movie, one of my favorite Argento films here. So let's move on to another Dario Argento film. This is Two Evil Eyes, a movie directed by Dario Argento and George Romero. I've actually never seen this movie, but I'm pretty sure this is some sort of anthology movie where Romero directs one skit and Argento directs another skit. But again, I've never seen this. I've heard that it's really good, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. Can't wait to watch this one. And I'm glad to add another Blue Underground release to my Blue Underground Blu-ray collection. This was actually a Christmas gift from my buddy Joel, so this was a gift that somebody gave me. Moving on, though, this is The Phantom of the Paradise, the Scream Factory release. This is actually the only Scream Factory release that I've picked up over the past 2-3 months. I actually just haven't had money for Scream Factory releases anymore. I would say my 2 biggest priorities right now in collecting Blu-rays and stuff like that is probably Arrow video releases and Steelbook releases. So lately I just haven't had enough money to really be keeping up with the Scream Factory releases, even though they do have a few awesome releases that I plan on picking up, especially their Black Christmas release. But really nice release here, Phantom of the Paradise. This is one of the older Scream Factory releases, and actually their older releases are some of my favorite to collect. So glad to add this one to the collection. Next up here is a Star Wars Blu-ray box set. This comes with the original Star Wars trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6. And this also not only comes with the Blu-ray discs, but the DVD discs. So this is a 6-disc set. If you're trying to get the Star Wars movies quick and easy, and you don't care that these are the re-edits put out, then this is a really good set to pick up if you can find it for a cheap price. They actually had this one marked down on sale at the FYE that I frequent for $19.99. So I've seen this. I think Walmart or Target is selling this stuff for like 40, 50 bucks right now. So when I saw it for 20 bucks, I was like, I might as well pick it up because I wanted an easier way to watch the Star Wars films. Because before I picked this up, the only way that I had the Star Wars films was on Steelbook releases, which were a pain to pull out every time, and also VHS releases, which again were kind of a pain to have to hook up the VHS player every time I wanted to watch Star Wars. So I picked this up basically just to have a quick and easy way to check out the Star Wars movies. Alright, next up here is the Exorcist box set thing. This actually came out a while ago, but I picked this up probably in October. Again, they had this marked down at my FYE. I think it was only like 20 bucks or 25 bucks. So I picked it up, and this is a really nice Exorcist box set. This only comes with the first film, which is a bit of a bummer, because it would be nice to have all the films, but there's already been Blu-ray releases with all the Exorcist films on them, I think, so this is like sort of different, and I kind of like bigger special editions like this, so, you know, I'm glad I picked this one up. But this comes with the original director, the original theatrical cut of The Exorcist, and it also comes with the director's cut, which I actually like both versions of the movie. I would say I probably prefer the theatrical cut, but the director's cut is pretty good too. That's the version that I remember watching the most when I was growing up, was the director's cut. So I actually like both versions of this movie, and this actually comes with a really cool little booklet thing. Here, I'll show you guys the insides here. Comes with a 2-disc set of The Exorcist on DVD. You know, decent cover art on this and decent special features, of course. And then it comes with this little book thing, which is sort of like a digibook, but it's just an actual book. It doesn't have a DVD included, like, in this thing. I mean, there's a DVD in the, well, Blu-ray in the Blu-ray case, but you guys know what I'm saying here. But this is actually like a an excerpt from William Friedkin's novel, The Friedkin Connection, which is a memoir he wrote about his whole film career. And William Friedkin directed The Exorcist, and this is like the chapter in the book about The Exorcist, I think. Actually looking forward to reading this. William Friedkin is a really cool director, really cool guy too. I've seen some interviews with him, and he's just seems like a really, really cool guy. Alright, so that's the Exorcist set. And last, for the regular Blu-ray releases, before I show you guys all the Arrow and Steelbook releases I picked up, is the Digibook release of The Labyrinth. I picked this up actually on Black Friday at Target. It wasn't on sale or anything, but I went to Target on Black Friday to see if they had anything cool for sale, and they really didn't. So I was just looking around at what they had in general, and they didn't really have any Steelbooks that I was looking for. They actually didn't have too many Steelbooks in general, which I was a little bummed out about. But I saw this Digibook release of The Labyrinth, and I love David Bowie, huge Bowie fan, one of my favorite musicians. Such a shame that he had to pass away this year. And also, I'm a big fan of Jennifer Connelly's early work because she was in Phenomena from Dario Argento, which is one of my favorite horror movies. And this movie came out the year after Phenomena, so I've always wanted to check this movie out for that reason too. But I had a lot of fun watching this. This was an awesome movie. Jim Henson, puppets and stuff in this. Frank Oz worked on this movie too. Just classic fun stuff here. I'm sure most of you guys have seen this one. Alright, so let's move on to the Arrow video releases, which I have a ton of Arrow video stuff to show you guys. So let's get started. First up here is Arrow Video's release of Creepshow II. And actually, I had a issue with getting this, which I don't want to get really big into because it's a long story. But originally, I had pre-ordered the box set. And I pre-ordered this box set like a month ago, like November 10th or something like that. I pre-ordered 2 copies of the Creepshow box set, Creepshow II box set, which was limited to 3,000 copies, and I didn't get anything from Amazon, nothing for that whole month. And then the day before that box set came out, I got a message from Amazon saying they canceled my order because they sold out of them. So they basically screwed me over, and I didn't get a copy of the box set. I'm not exactly sure what went wrong with that, but they canceled my order, and at that time it had already been sold out, so there was just nothing I could do about it. But they gave me some gift cards. They gave me like 25 bucks and gift cards, which was alright, which is cool. Still doesn't make up for not getting the box set anymore. But what I ended up doing was just ordering 2 copies of the regular special edition that Arrow put out of Creepshow 2. So a little bit bummed out that I didn't end up getting the box set because I did pre-order it, and Amazon kind of screwed me over with that. But still, just glad to have this in general. Creepshow 2 is one of my favorite horror anthologies. I actually think I like it more than the first Creepshow, even though the first Creepshow is a better movie, but I've always really liked Creepshow 2 for some reason. Just a really fun horror movie. Really nice looking release here, but every time I look at this, it makes me cringe a little bit, knowing that I was this close to getting that box set, and I just got screwed out of it, really for no real reason at all. If anything like that has ever happened to you guys with a pre-order, definitely let me know down in the comments, because that really got me pissed off when that happened, but still glad to have it anyways. Good movie, cool release. Alright, so next up for the Arrow releases, this is Vamp. I actually switched the artwork on this one. I thought the reversible artwork was a little bit cooler. This is like a late 80s vampire movie or something like that, or a 90s vampire movie. I can't really remember. I've actually never seen this one, but I know that there used to be an Anchor Bay release of this, and I always wanted to pick it up. I never got around to getting the Anchor Bay release, so when I saw this at FYE, I was like, might as well pick it up. It actually wasn't that much money either, so I thought it was worth picking up. Vamp, if you guys, think this is a good one, definitely let me know in the comments, because I've yet to watch it yet. So moving on here to some more Arrow video releases. This is Microwave Massacre. This was a release that I was really excited before, because it's actually a movie that I had been wanting to pick up and see for a while now, because actually me and my friend Joel, who gave me that Two Evil Eyes release that I mentioned a little while ago, are in a band together called the Microwave Radiation Victims. And actually before, when I've done artwork or poster designs or just random artwork for our band, I've actually looked at the Microwave Massacre posters as sort of like a reference, and I've sort of used some of the artwork off of posters for Microwave Massacre on artwork for our albums and stuff before. So this was a movie that I always wanted to see, and when I heard Arrow Video was putting it out, I was like, I gotta pick it up. So really glad that I got around to picking this one up. This is a great release, and this was a fun movie. I know some people probably won't like this because it's a real sleazy slasher movie, basically bottom of the barrel type stuff, but I actually thought this was kind of fun. I had a lot of fun watching this, and I actually sort of got the type of humor that this movie was trying to pull off, which I'm sure some people would just think is stale and annoying, but I actually sort of liked the humor in this movie. I thought it was enjoyable, so in my opinion, I thought this was actually decent. I mean, not a great movie at all, but definitely a fun watch here. Alright, and then last up for like the regular Arrow video releases, and then I sort of have some box set type stuff to show you guys that I picked up. So last for the regular Arrow releases here, this is Pray for Death. This is a random pickup here. I actually picked this one up at Walmart because it was sitting at Walmart for 20 bucks. I was like, Arrow video release at Walmart for 20 bucks. I was like, hell yeah, I'll pick that up. So I picked it up, and I haven't watched it yet, but it looks pretty cool. I heard it's sort of like a violent action sort of samurai movie from the 80s. So sounds like fun to me. I mean, it's not really my favorite type of movie here. I'm more into like weird horror movies, but I'm just such a big fan of Arrow now that if I see one of their releases for cheap, I'll pick it up, just because usually the stuff they put out is pretty good. Alright, so next up here we actually have one of my favorite Arrow releases in my collection, and this is the Hills Have Eyes box set. So happy that I got this box set. I didn't get screwed over getting this one. Actually, this one I picked up at FYE. I went to FYE around the day that it came out, and they had it there. And I paid probably around like $40 for it, but that's kind of what it's going for on the computer anyway, so I didn't think that was that bad of a price. Actually, FYE lately has been getting a lot of Arrow video releases, which is good, but at the same time, they're very expensive at FYE, so it's cheaper to order them online, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I still sometimes buy them at FYE just because they're there and I'm there, so might as well pick them up while I'm there, you know. But really cool stuff here. Hills Have Eyes box set. This is just a great release for a great movie. Not much more I can say about it than that. Really awesome artwork here, and I'm sure you guys have seen some other reviews on this, so I would go in and show you guys all the stuff it comes with. But it comes with a poster and a booklet, and then it comes with like a special edition Arrow video release all inside this really nice slipcase right here. Just one of my favorite Arrow releases they put out so far. Hills Have Eyes is probably my favorite Wes Craven movie, and it's one of the films that got me into kind of exploitation and weirder horror movies from like the 70s and stuff like that. So always really, really liked The Hills Have Eyes. Alright, so next up for Arrow Video, I got two more releases here, and these are both UK editions. And actually, I got both of these off of a trade I did with my buddy Tom, which you guys might know as Movie Game Guy 91. If you guys don't watch his channel, definitely go and check it out. He's a good friend of mine, and he posts up some pretty good videos, so definitely check out his channel. He needs a few more subscribers, and I know he's looking for them. So if you could check out his channel, that would be pretty cool. But I did a few trades with him recently, and these are some of the things that I got from him in the trades we did. So first off here is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 box set from Arrow Video. This is a box set that I never thought I was going to have in my collection. It was just a little bit too expensive for me to go out of my way to try to get it. But this is an awesome box set and just a great addition to my Arrow Video collection. This is like a 3-disc set, and it comes with a huge booklet and a bunch of other stuff. Just an awesome release here. Arrow Video is just the best. Just everything they do is just awesome. And this is just a great example of that. I mean, just a great box set here. Not much more I can say about it than that. Alright, and then last for the Arrow releases is another UK Arrow release, and this is of A Bay of Blood, and this is actually my first Arrow Video window box release in my entire collection. Actually, I got into collecting Arrow Video releases when they started putting out titles here in the US, and at that time they had stopped doing the window box releases, so I never got any of the window box releases, because by the time I started collecting from Arrow, the window box releases were expensive, and it was just easier to buy the other editions, and I had already started collecting the editions that look like this, the Amory case ones, or whatever you want to call them, and those are just the ones that I got into collecting, so I actually just never really went out of my way to get any of the window box releases. But now, since Arrow Video is like my favorite company that puts out releases, I felt like I had to at least get a few of these in my collection, so I'm glad to have one in my collection right now, and I do plan on picking more of these up for sure if I can get them for a good price. But the Bay of Blood release right there, just really cool stuff here. This is a great Mario Bava film. Definitely a great example of a proto-slasher film. It's from the early 70s, and it basically follows the archetype that slasher films would follow 10 years later, so great stuff here. And that was it for the Arrow releases, but like I mentioned, I have a whole stack of Steelbooks. Ton of Steelbooks. Let me count them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Steelbooks to show you guys. So let's get going on these. First off here is the Psycho pop art release by Universal. I actually have 7 of these pop art releases now, and I wasn't a big fan of these when I first started to buy them, but now that I have a good amount of these, I actually really like these Universal pop art releases, and I plan on doing a video reviewing all the ones that I have. If that's something that you guys would like to see, definitely let me know down in the comments. But I was thinking of doing videos where I do kind of reviews on certain Steelbook editions, and this was one of the first ones I was thinking about doing, was these Universal Pop Art releases. But this is a nice release of Psycho, and what can I say about Psycho that already hasn't been said 1,000,000 times? But this is just one of the best horror movies ever. My favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie, and just a classic. So let's move on. Next up here is actually another Arrow video release, so I probably should have showed this one off first, but this is the Driller Killer Steelbook. This is the UK edition, so I got this in the mail probably like a month ago. I posted up a video for it around that time, so you guys might have seen the video that I posted up where I just basically reviewed the Driller Killer Steelbook, but this is an awesome Steelbook. I have yet to get around to watching this yet, but like I mentioned that in that video, this is a movie that I've seen before, but I just haven't seen this movie in like 10 years, so it's been a long time. But a really great Steelbook here. I love the artwork on this, and I'm pretty sure from what it said on the back here is the artwork they used on the Steelbook was the original artwork used on the VHS copies of this, and the artwork on that release is what helped get this movie into being one of the video nasties, which kind of gave this movie, which ended up giving this movie its reputation in a way. So, cool stuff here. Let's move on. Next up here is probably my favorite Steelbook in my entire collection, and this is the Phenomenon 3-disc special edition, limited edition Steelbook release put out by Synapse, and Synapse has just been the best lately. Their Steelbook release of Tenebrae was one of my favorite Steelbooks in my entire collection, and now this I think is even cooler. Synapse has just been putting out some awesome stuff lately. So really glad to pick this up. Dario Argento's Phenomena is one of my favorite movies from him. Just such a strange, awesome, stylistic movie. Only a movie that Dario Argento can pull off, because it's such a weird movie too. But he just pulled it off so well, and this movie is just such an awesome movie. Great music, great everything in this movie. Written, directed, and produced by Dario Argento. One of his best movies in my opinion. Just a great looking release here. Has the original movie poster on the cover, and it's just jam-packed with great features. This is actually a 3-disc set. The 3rd disc is a soundtrack, and the other discs just have different cuts of the film and special features on it. And the different cuts of the film are actually, it comes with 3 different cuts. One of them is the 116-minute cut of the movie, which this is the first time that is getting a U.S. release, is on this set here. That is the cut that came with all the Arrow video releases of Phenomena. And then it comes with the 110-minute version of Phenomena, which is the one that was available here beforehand, like the Anchor Bay release and stuff like that. And actually, for the first time ever, remastered, this comes with Creepers, which is the original U.S. cut of Phenomena, which is only like an 80-minute cut of the movie. It's a very rushed cut of the movie, probably the worst cut of the movie, but also probably the most unique cut of the movie. And I actually like to watch that cut of the movie, because actually the first time I ever saw Phenomena was on a dollar store 2-pack that came with Creepers. So I've always liked the original cut, even though Argento's full-length cut is so much better. But just for weird reasons, I kind of like the Creepers cut of the movie. So just a great set here, one of my favorite things in my entire collection right now. Alright, so let's move on. Next up here is actually the Toxic Avenger Steelbook. I showed this off in my Rock and Shock movie convention update. If you guys missed that, definitely check it out. I actually picked up a few more things there, but I decided this was going to be the only one that I showed, because I already made an update video for that, which was the video where I showed everything I picked up there. So definitely go and check that out. That's on the home page of my channel. If you scroll down to the bottom, I have a playlist with all my movie convention videos, which I've only made 3 so far, and my Rock and Shock one is my newest. And if you guys missed that, it was a horror convention that I went to, I think at the end of October or at the beginning of November. I can't even remember. Actually, it was at the end of October, and it was an awesome convention. coolest movie convention I've ever been to. Only been to a couple, but this one was like twice the size of the first one that I went to, and they just had a ton of stuff there. There was a trauma booth there, so I picked up some trauma stuff. I actually didn't get this at the trauma booth, surprisingly, but there was another booth of a guy was just selling random stuff, and he had the Toxic Avenger Steelbook, so I had to pick it up. This is the 88 Films release here, and just a great looking Steelbook for an awesome movie. Actually, I got this Trauma bumper sticker when I was at the Trauma stand there. I love Traumaville High School, so just a great convention. I mean, if you guys want to hear me talk more about that convention, definitely go and check out my Rock and Shock video. I might even leave a link to it in the description for this video, but I got more stuff to show, so let's move on here. So more Steelbooks to show here. Actually, these are a few Steelbooks that I got off of Zavvi.com, and I showed these in an unboxing video already, but just in case you guys missed that video, I figured I would show them off once again. So first off here, we have Dracula, Prince of Darkness, starring one of my favorite actors ever, Christopher Lee. This is just a great Steelbook release here. Zavvi.com has some awesome Steelbooks. If you guys have never heard of their site, definitely go and check it out, especially if you love collecting Steelbooks. They're a UK-based site, so most of their releases are Region 2. This is a Region 2 release, but I would say a good chunk of their releases are Region Free, so it's worth checking out even if you don't have a Region Free player right now. But let me just give you guys a better look at this Steelbook, because the artwork on the back of this is amazing. This is the front artwork, and this is the back artwork. I mean, wow, just great stuff there. Great looking Steelbook, and I only paid like $10 for this. That's what I mean. Like Zavvi.com is just one of the best sites, especially for Steelbooks. All right, and I picked this one off of Zavvi.com too, only for like $10. This is the Evil Dead release right here. Awesome. Actually, I think I like the Anchor Bay US Evil Dead Steelbook better. But when I saw this was only going for $10 on their site, I figured I would pick this one up too. This is actually a region-free release, so if you guys are looking for a Steelbook of the Evil Dead or something like that, you know, it's worth picking up. The shipping off of Zavvi.com is cheap too, so just a really great website. Really cool looking Steelbook here too. Alright, a few more Steelbooks to show you guys, and these aren't really like horror movies or anything like that. These are, I would say, almost more like kids or like family type movies here, but let me go through these. This is the Transformers, the movie Steelbook, the real Transformers movie, the good Transformers movie. This is the animated movie from the 80s, and I've always loved this movie. I used to watch this movie when I was younger, and actually recently, I would say 5-6 years ago, I used to watch a VHS copy I had of this a lot. So this is actually a movie that I like and I love to watch. So when I heard Scream Shout Factory was putting out a Steelbook for this, I was like, I gotta get it. So really glad that I picked this one up. Awesome looking Steelbook. Next up for the Steelbooks, we got Space Jam. Love this movie. Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny. What more do you need to say? This movie was like my childhood in a nutshell. Like I grew up, like when did this movie come out? I'm probably not even going to be able to find the date on this thing. But I mean, this movie had to come out in like 99 or something like that. But this movie came out when I was like at the perfect age, and I just was obsessed with this movie. I thought it was the coolest thing. I mean, I loved the Looney Tunes at the time this movie came out, and I was into Michael Jordan and basketball at the time when this movie came out, surprisingly. So this was just a great movie. I'm really looking forward to watching this. This is going to be a nostalgic trip watching this movie. Space Jam Steelbook. This is actually the 20th anniversary of this movie. So yeah, I mean, so that means it must have came out in 96, right? So yeah, I was like 5 years old when this movie came out, so just awesome stuff here. Right, next up here, the Batman, the Return of the Caped Crusaders. This is actually a Batman cartoon, but it has Adam West and Burt Ward in it as voice actors, and the animation in this is based off of the look and the style of the Batman 60s show, which I'm a huge fan of the Batman show from the 60s. It's such a fun, awesome show. Probably one of my favorite versions of Batman, actually. And yeah, when I heard they were putting out a steelbook for this cartoon, like I probably wouldn't have picked this cartoon up if it was just like a regular release of it. But when I heard they were putting out a steelbook for this, I felt like I had to pick it up because I actually picked up the steelbook that Target put out for The Killing Joke, which that was an awesome cartoon. So I felt like I had to get this steelbook added to my Batman steelbook collection. Really cool stuff here. Have yet to watch this yet, but my buddy Mike, who was really big in the Batman, he also has a channel up on YouTube, Mike Face something. I'll put a link for his channel in the description for this video, and I'll put a link for my friend Tom's channel too, which I did a few trades with, and I mentioned in this video too. So if you guys want to check out a few more channels of some people I know, definitely check those out after this video about Batman Steelbook. Alright, so last for the Steelbooks is Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. This is a great addition to the Vacation series of fun film series. Can't go wrong with really any of those movies. And this one is probably my favorite, mostly just because it's a Christmas movie. And this has always been a movie that I enjoyed watching around Christmas time. And I'm just glad to get a really cool steelbook for it. This is like a DVD Blu-ray combo pack. And all these Christmas steelbooks are combo packs. They also put one out for Scrooged with Bill Murray. They put one out for A Christmas Story. And they put one out for Elf with Will Ferrell in it. And they're all like 2-disc sets. So these are really good sets. These actually were released last year, but there are still a few of these hanging around my FYE this year. So I picked this one up. Christmas Vacation. So that was it for the Blu-rays. And I know this video is going on for a long time already, so I'm going to try to get through this last stuff really quickly. I have just a small stack of DVDs to show and a VHS box set. So let's see what I got here. So first off, for the DVDs, Wes Craven's Shocker. Wanted to pick up the Scream Factory edition of it. Never got around to it. Didn't have it on any other format, so I saw this at a Big Lots for $3, and I figured might as well add it to the collection. Leprechaun, surprisingly, didn't have this one in the collection right now. I used to rent Leprechaun all the time when I was younger. One of my favorite movies to rent. One of my favorite horror movies to rent when I was younger. And I love watching this around St. Patrick's Day. So I felt like I had to pick this up. Found this at a Savers for $2. Next up here, Creepers, which is, I've already mentioned this. This is actually the U.S. cut of Phenomena. Kind of hard to find this cut, actually, before the Steelbook came out, which is hard to find already. The only way you could see Creepers was on these dollar store, public domain, budget DVD releases. And these are actually kind of hard to find, too. I've seen a lot of people selling this brand new on eBay for like $40, $50. I picked this up for like $10 used, but it was in really good condition. I just wanted to add it to the Phenomenon collection since it's one of my favorite horror movies. Nightmare City. This was actually another thing that I got from my friend Tom in a trade. It's an Anchor Bay release here. Glad to add another awesome Anchor Bay to my collection. Rabbit Hole DVD. You guys already seen me talk about this a bunch, so I don't want to go into it, but just recently, last month, like I mentioned, got the Rabbit Hole DVD made. This is actually for a short slasher film that me and my friends made about a year ago, and if you guys want to check it out, it's up for free on my channel to check out. It's only 25 minutes long, so it's definitely worth checking out if you guys just want to have a little bit of horror fun. Rabbit Hole DVD. Spent a lot of time at making this and all that, but I went in depth on this in a bunch of other videos. So if you guys want to learn more about the Rabbit Hole DVD, go to my channel and check out my Rabbit Hole playlist, which you'll find everything you need to know about this in that playlist. Alright, so last for the DVDs here is the Star Wars Trilogy box set. This is actually a box set that I used to rent all the time when it first came out, but I don't think I ever owned this box set back in the day when this first came out. But this box set came out around the time Star Wars Episode 3 came out. This is actually all of the George Lucas re-edited versions of the movies, which I'm not a big fan of, which I've mentioned a few times in my other videos, but I don't really want to get into that now because this video is already going on for a while here, almost 40 minutes here, so thanks, anybody still watching, thanks for sticking in here with me. But this is a great box set, even though it doesn't have the original theatrical cuts. It's just a nice looking box set in general. I actually picked this one up at FYE pretty recently. And I'll just give you guys a quick look at the inside here, even though I'm sure you guys have seen it before. But it comes with all three of the Star Wars movies in their own separate cases with their own artwork, which is awesome. They do not do this quite as often anymore when they make Blu-ray box sets, which is a shame. Really cool stuff, though. Glad to have this. Actually, earlier in this video, I showed this Star Wars box set up, and I picked this up so I would have an easier way to watch the Star Wars movies. And then the next week after that, I ended up picking up this box set. So I don't really need that box set anymore, but then again, that does come with the Blu-ray, so I'll probably still hold on to that one. But just a great looking box set here for a great film series. Love this. I love the Star Wars movies. I actually just posted up a video which barely got any views at all, where I did a review on all of the Star Wars Steelbooks, Blu-ray Steelbooks that were released. There's actually a Steelbook for all 7 of the Star Wars movies, and in that video I actually reviewed all the Star Wars movies and gave my opinions on the prequels, the original trilogy, and the George Lucas re-edit. So if you want to see me talk more about that, definitely go and check out that Star Wars Steelbook video. Again, it will be on the front page of my channel if you guys click on it. And then last for this video is another Star Wars box set, but this is a VHS box set. And this is actually the last time the original 3 Star Wars movies got released in their original theatrical cuts is in this box set here. So I felt like I needed to pick this up. I actually already have a Star Wars box set that comes with all the theatrical versions. You can actually see it here. It's on top of this shelf here. It's a really old, awesome Star Wars box set. One of my favorite VHS things in my collection. But I really like this box set too. It's a little bit more neater, a little bit more simple, and I just like really everything about it. Just a great box set here. Real quickly, I'll show you guys what the separate releases look here. Star Wars New Hope got Darth Vader on the cover there. I'm sure you guys have seen these tapes. These are around all the time. Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi with Yoda on the cover. Great stuff there. Another awesome box set for awesome films. But alright guys, that is the end of this update. Thanks for sticking with me to the end here. And of course, like always, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely give it a big thumbs up. Definitely give it a comment. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you guys next time.